how many countries did you visit? Did you count all these countries you visited?
No, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's very important, but
it's not so important for you. Okay.
And what do you mean? I visited, for example, I'm very often in Spain, and and I've spent months in the US or a long time in Russia, and some other countries I've been a couple of days. So I don't think, well, I'm not an Instagrammer, an influencer saying I've been there. No, it's not my, no, it's not for that I do it.
I see. So what was the most beautiful country or place you have ever visited? I understand that there are many places, beautiful places in the world, but still, could you be like honest and say like the most beautiful place you've ever been to?
If I don't answer, I will be dishonest. Let's try.
No.
How could I say that? I think something very, I do believe in something very important. You travel to learn, not to compare. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you compare, you will always say, oh, this country is crap because in my country it is this. We have the French people, for example. When they go somewhere, a very small village, and they see a castle, a small chateau, they say it's not Versailles. Even if you know Versailles Castle in France. You understand Versailles? It's a big castle.
Yeah.
But I'm sure where they live, there is nothing like that. So don't make comparison, because if you compare, you will find the negative side. Just try to learn and try to identify what is positive in a country and get inspiration from it. For example, if you go to Russia, people are very hospitable. If you go to Ukraine, people are very hospitable, much more than in France.
Even though.
But, yeah, really, you can come to a house and say hello, and the person will say, oh, I'm sorry, we have no place. You will sleep in the kitchen. Can happen in Russia or in Ukraine, but you arrive in France, it's a disaster. You did not say months before you will come, etc., and you don't plan an appointment, and people will probably suggest you go to this hotel, etc. Then, so these are positive points of these two countries. Now, if you go to Russia, you never talk politics with Russian people, but if you go to Ukraine, you always talk politics. It makes a lot of fun. It's very interesting. So.
If you go to Russia, you don't talk about politics because of the fact that they are afraid to say something wrong.
I had another answer from educated people. They say, we never talk politics because it's not our job. We are specialists. But we will not argue like this. That's a fact. If I want to keep my friends in Russia, and we don't talk politics, and if I want to have fun with my Ukrainian friends, we talk politics. That's a difference. If you go to Tunisia, you can talk about religion with people. But if you go to Pakistan, if you talk religion, you are a blasphemer and you can be killed. But there are good things in these different countries. Understand?
Yes. You have to know exactly to explore the mentality of people. Yes, not to get into trouble.
Well, just focus on what connects people, and you avoid the problems. You understand? Don't try, to argue with people or to convert them to I don't know what. You understand? But I tried. I will answer you. My favorite country, I can tell you the most exotic country I've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, based
Okay.
on what you know from me. What would be the most exotic country?
Mhm.
What do you think?
For you, exotic
Yeah,
country. Mm. Maybe again, the eastern part of Russia,
yeah, right. Siberia
right?
and winter.
Right.
Yes,
So,
Siberia and winter. My God.
do you know why? How I identified that? Because of
Yeah.
your smile. You smiled. It was you were so happy being there. And while looking at your photos, I noticed this one that you were really happy when you were in the eastern part of Russia, in Irkutsk. Yes, in the Siberia,
Um,
right?
I have very good friends in Irkutsk and very, very nice people. But
Mhm.
the most impressive is Yakutia in winter,
Mhm.
with minus 50. You know, it's another world. When I arrived in the night at 5 in the morning in Yakutsk in winter, I was in my dream. It was really, it's just spectacular. It's something fantastic.
Most dangerous country you visited?
Uh, when you travel, you prepare your trip, you
Yeah.
try to get local connections and to make friends. Today it's possible thanks to social media. I will not say I've been in dangerous countries. I would say I've been in situations which could have been very dangerous, but I was with friends, trustable people.
Mhm.
So I was never in danger, I think.
I,
Mm,
those events in Maidan, maybe like when you had to go, yes, because it was like a horror, yeah, horror started like in Maidan and in February. So I
yeah.
heard the story that you had to be evacuated, yes, or even like to leave the country, or
No, no.
like.
I explain. I was on Maidan in December. It was extremely safe. You remember all these people. There was a very big security in Maidan, and in
Yeah.
Maidan, no alcohol, no drug were authorized. Everybody was very civilized. Everybody was smiling, etc.
Прощай, гаранти, не повертайся. Вітя чав, Вітя чав. І Межигір'я, і Сухолуччя, музеєм стане завтра все. Жорстокий Беркут, суди продажні, а Вітя чав. І прокурори, і Вовка Путін, не захистять вони тебе. Вставай, країно, прокиньтесь, люди, а Вітя чав. Всім на Майдані виходить треба, проти свавілля влади стать. Нам буде важко, ми всі це знаєм.
Батя, я стараюсь.
А батя чав. За свободу рідного краю боротись будем до кінця. Та за свободу рідного краю боротись будем до кінця.
It happened. I was in Kiev in February, and in 18th February, I went with a demonstration to the Rada, and there were fights, of course. But at this time, you don't understand what is going on, because there is like a strong crowd emotion, and you don't think, just at the end, I was trapped in with Berkut charging, the crowd, and I had people falling down around me, and I had people, they were beaten, but I put myself against the wall, so I was sure there was nothing behind me, and I just watched the Berkut like this, and it was okay. But I also got a grenade, in institute. They were dropped from the roof, and I lost my left ear because of the deflagration. That's
Really?
it. But I was not and my big regret is that I was not on Maidan in the night of between the 18th and the 19th. I was on Krishatik, but I was anxious to be trapped, and had to be in Leipzig the day after on the 19th. So all my Ukrainian friends told me, don't get out, because I think it was Avarov, said we will crush these people, we will destroy them. The point is, I was just scared I could be trapped, not going back to the apartment to collect my equipment to work. That's why I was not on Maidan during this incredible night. C'est la vie. At least I've been part of Maidan. And then it was strange to leave Kiev on the 19th morning, but yeah, it was okay. It was okay. After, I should admit that it took me a couple of weeks or months to get outside the kind of post-traumatic trauma, because I've seen the house of syndicates, this big building burning, and I knew there were people. I could saw it from the balcony, and I knew there were people in, and people were dying, and so it's a big trauma. Yes, you heard, huh? You heard about this building.
Yes, I know about it.
That's it gave me nightmares. Yeah, but the danger was not for me, but for these poor people.
Якби ж мені, синку, не жаль, ти ж на моїм серцю лежав, ти ж на моїм серцю лежав. Плине кача по тисині, плине кача по тисині.
Bah écoutez, moi je vois la rue Kreshatik, qui est la principale rue de Kiev, qui est toujours sous contrôle des protestataires. Cette nuit, je voyais des gens casqués avec des boucliers, du matériel qui montait vers ce qui est devenu maintenant le front, hein, qui serait très réduit, puisque ce n'est plus qu'une partie de la place Maidan qui tient. Là, je continue à voir des gens qui se dirigent vers Maidan.
Qu'est-ce que vous
Allô?
dites? Oui, je vous écoute.
Il y a de nombreuses explosions très fortes qui ne ressemblent pas aux grenades assourdissantes d'hier. C'est beaucoup plus violent. Et ça a duré toute la nuit. J'ai quand même le sentiment que ce ne sont plus seulement des grenades assourdissantes. J'en ai eu hier plusieurs qui sont tombées juste à côté de moi. D'ailleurs, je m'en suis pris un éclat dans la tête. Ça sonne, mais ça fait beaucoup moins fort. Et il me semble, alors là, très clairement, entendre des détonations d'armes à feu assez rapprochées. Je vois l'immeuble des syndicats qui a servi de QG à l'insurrection, qui est entièrement détruit, qui a brûlé toute la nuit. On dit qu'il y a des gens qui n'ont pas pu sortir du dernier étage où ils se trouvaient. Cet immeuble est tout noir, il y a beaucoup moins de flammes, mais il y a beaucoup de fumée qui sort. L'immeuble d'à côté aussi brûle. J'ai vu des gens blessés probablement par des projectiles, mais aussi très clairement après une charge de Berkut, qui sont on va dire les CRS locaux. Ces gens-là ayant subi des jets de pavés et des cocktails Molotov se jettent sur tous ceux qu'ils peuvent attraper et les rouent littéralement de coups.
Mhm. So you were in such countries as Pakistan and Afghanistan. As we talked about the eastern part of Russia, in the Siberia, yes. And what is interesting about these countries, Pakistan and Afghanistan?
Oh, once again, it was not a choice for Afghanistan, for example. I was in Pamir, Tajik Pamir, in a valley called Wahan, and in the middle of the valley, you have the Pant River, which is the Amud area. On the opposite side is Afghanistan. And we were going along this big river, and I saw the landscape in Afghanistan. It was so beautiful. All the landscape was like a garden, and I wanted to go there. It just, all my trips, it's not a decision. It's like I've been called somewhere, You need to go because you cannot resist. If you don't go, you will miss something for your life. That's why I went to Afghanistan. It's just was not really my decision. It was like I had to go. And Pakistan is because I wanted to see the mountains, the huge, huge mountains of Pakistan. And I like very much the sky in Pamir or in Karakoram because it's high and the sky is very clean, without dust, without humidity. And everything is so sharp, and there is such a saturation of color. It's just magical. That I went to the place where I went to this mountain. It happened, it was Pakistan, but my choice was not to go to Pakistan. My choice was to go to this place, to see these mountains and the people who live all the year long above 3,000 meters high.
Wow.
That's
Do you know this mountain, like the
Yeah,
highest?
I missed part of what you said.
I mean, like, have you ever been to the mountain of death? That there are so many people that died that wanted to go to the peak of that mountain and they died. K2 mountain. The mountain is called K2 in Pakistan.
I think the death mountain could be Nanga Parbat, Killer Mountain, or K2.
Maybe.
Nanga Parbat, it's possible to go not very far from Nanga Parbat. Its place is called Ferry Meadow, but I did not go there. I did not have time. And K2 is another part of Pakistan. It's in Himalaya, and it's a very long way. It was not in the area where I was. I was in the corner made with China and Afghanistan because I wanted to meet the same people I've seen, same ethnicity that I met in Afghanistan. They are Wahi people. And they are on both sides of the borders, very high borders. But so that's why I went there. And it's also there you have the Karakoram highway, which is very famous. So I didn't go to K2, which is, you're right, in Pakistan, the second summit in the world. And I saw Nanga Parbat, but from far away.
सर कोई बुलंद फरियाद करता मैं सर कोई बुलंद फरियाद करता मैं अली शेर खुदा अली शेर खुदा
سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم علی شیر خدا تو یاد کردم علی شیر خدا تو یاد کردم
Oh, and tell us, please, about mentality of people in the countries you visited. Are people more or less the same everywhere, or they are different? Like you said that in some countries they are hospital, in some countries they are not so hospital. So, but still, what about people? Are people in general kind or not kind? And what other qualities can you mention?
I would say just avoid the bad people, because you have bad people and good people everywhere. Have first a good friend in the country, and then rely on connection between people. And if you smell something fishy, you just run away. But it can happen everywhere. I think to answer, I know it's not politically correct, but I think people are very, very different according to the country where they live. I'm really thinking about that. And we have to adapt. We have to adapt. When I was in India, people thought I was Indian guy, a Parsi. When I'm in Tunisia, people consider I'm an Algerian guy, so kind of Arab guy. it's important. I don't show myself like a tourist, you know. By the way, I don't consider I'm a tourist. I'm a traveler, but I try. I don't look folkloric, of course, but I try to be like a fish in water, you know, to behave like people behave, and then everybody is kind. And my goal is to meet with people, to tell their story, to listen their story. My goal is not to make my own choice, and because I'm interested with them, usually connection is very good, except for some crazy people. But what I would say also is, you have some people saying I'm fed up with my country, or etc. And this country is so beautiful, etc., etc. We know this in France. We have some people saying this country is so marvelous, like Russia, for example, and they don't know Russia, but it's the most beautiful country. Or some French people even saying Pakistan is so beautiful, etc. No, there is beauty everywhere. But understand, when you come to a difficult situation, when you come to argument, then everybody will back to his fundamentals. It's very important. I don't know if I'm clear, you know, but understand from where you are, understand who you are, and don't be blind. Learn from other people, but just remember who you are, you know. Don't force your personality or your mentality, but understand there is difference. So try to find the difference, and try to find in what sense the difference is positive, and learn from this difference.
Yeah. To be flexible.
It's more than that. It's to, yeah, be open to other people, learn from other people. I would just, yeah, and adaptable. Don't travel in a tourist bubble, because you are in a group of same people, and you are just like a concert in the place where you go, or just like monkeys, you know. No, don't do like that. Travel with the people of the country. Use their bus, use their train, their horse if you want. But don't come with big jets with marked tours, you know, or I don't know what, and with your music, etc. No, just be in the environment. And
a real picture, how this or that country is, or this and that place really is. Yes, you just need to be natural and to see some natural things, not artificially described by some tourist agencies. Yes.
Oh, I perfectly agree. It's very important, because what is shown to tourists is like a stage most often, you know. I remember just funny thing. I was in Tunisia, southern part. It's a desert, it's Sahara. I was in a village, one of the last one, and there was a guy, you know, with Adidas baskets, etc., and said, "No, I have to change because I have to make the Berber supper for tourists, and then I will put traditional clothes." So they, you know, they make all this, and then what is funny, you have a lot of charters flight, you know, between my city and Tunisia, and sometimes it happens. I go with some people, and I come back with the same people. When I hear their story, you know, I just say, my God, it's just, see the picture of the real blah 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 blah. It's totally fake, you know. So what I want to say, avoid this kind of crap. Look for your own beauty. Look for people you can meet, and it's the most interesting.